Other interesting cultural news, you have the St. Louis CEMA commissioner saying, whoops, we forgot to turn on the sirens. Well, more or less. Now, this is brought to us thanks to End Wokeness on X. And he says, quote, this is St. Louis CEMA commissioner. As a tornado with 152 mile per hour winds arrived, Sarah, they, them, and her staff was not available to activate the tornado siren. 5 were killed and 38 were injured. Jeez Louise. And yeah, in terms of, back in the day, not to be too much have a boomer mentality, back in the day, people would get to work early, stay late, hustle, put in 110%. Well, this is the antithesis of that.
The SEMA office is very small, and the majority of the time we work closer to business hours unless the need arises, such as what we're doing now, or special events. A lot of that work takes us out into the community, so we aren't necessarily in our office space at all times. We do have a very small staff. I have received reports of people that did hear it. I've heard from a lot of people that said they haven't heard it.
Yeah. You're not in the office during the day. Where are you? Are you really working at all? And this went pretty viral. Got 6.6 million views and 71,000 likes. The first comment comes from End Wokeness himself, saying, quote, we work closer to business hours, aka DEI at its finest. Based electrician says, quote, oh, pop up there. Says, quote, if you can't identify yourself, how can you identify a tornado? It's just a screenshot of it looking more confused than me, which is saying something. They have a button up, F- for marketing. You got 2.6 thousand likes. The gas stove, our favorite contrarian. I mean, the profile literally admits it, or says, they like to be a contrarian, but no one reads it. Now, the gas stove says, quote, even during these tough times, I can appreciate those referred to her using the correct pronouns. This is a kind inclusion we've all hoped for. Thank you, trans flag. They got 136 likes, and more impressively, 258 responses, which, yeah, that just shows how much, engagement farming really does work. Now, this person, of course, is probably ratioed. Let's check. Andy Clark says, quote, I'm sure that helps the victims of the tornado. You can't be serious, getting 23 likes, which obviously, if he read the Gastro's profile, oh no, this person is not, in fact, serious. Bart Magmitis says, quote, if only people had used their preferred pronouns to begin with, this may not have happened, getting 30 likes. Sprock says, potato spud, this shit is retarded. Pronoun shit has got to be the most dumbest thing I've ever heard of. LOL. You're either male or female. Why is it so hard? Getting 56 likes. Russ says, they, them, you mean none of them could have sounded the alarm? Getting 42 likes. And Sonna's response says, there's no water, but at least they covered the things that are important. And it's a reference to California, where they had the very diverse staff, but yeah, they were so bad they did not even realize you needed water to fight fires. Which, yeah, they didn't realize, oh yeah, we should probably check on the reservoir, make sure there's water in the reservoir. That was too much to ask of the fire chief and the fire experts in California. Paul Zupa says, quote, find to prosecute Sarah, getting 543 likes. 44, 45, going up like a stock. Libercrat Meat ATM says, quote, funny how leftist TikTokers are blaming Trump for this, claiming he defunded the department that notified people. Seems like another lie that got debunked, and the truth is, the DEI hires were just unavailable to do their saving job. Getting 1.6 thousand likes. I also have Knox of the North saying, quote, I'm beginning to believe that putting morbidly obese, mentally ill weirdos in charge of public health and safety was a mistake. Getting 7.5 thousand likes. Yeah, same thing happened during the pandemic and many other times where, yeah, we're supposed to be getting health advice and safety from people who can't even do one push-up. The same happened in California. The fire chiefs, all the gals, all of them, they could not do, I mean, just with their body mass alone, I'd be very impressed if they could do more than one push-up. Let's just say that much. Sarah Smith says, quote, the St. Louis CEMA commissioner should be fired immediately. People lost lives because of her. I was going to say, she is quite large. And most people would say horrifying. I don't know if I have much ground to stand on, but not very photogenic. Though again, don't have much ground to stand on either. Spitfire says, quote, TBH is more focused on deciding gender. How do these people get positions of power or responsibility? Getting 961 likes. Well, simple. Allow them to get promoted. Allow them get installed by people who voted for people. Again, this is why elections matter. Not just the big ones that catch the headlines, but also your local elections, whether it be sheriff, fire. I mean, a lot of these positions, people don't even realize exist. There's a lot of BS government bureaucracy. And a lot of people just, I mean, we've done, not studies myself, but you've heard for years, like so many of these politicians and people in political office don't even run opposed because people don't want to primary them. Now, Ali says, quote, she should be fired, not on paid leave. Of course that POS is on paid. Every time there's a government official and they mess up, they always get paid leave. Ridiculous. Imagine getting in trouble at work and the response was, you get a free vacation while we figure out what to do. And knowing, well, we'll see what happens if it actually gets held accountable. Now, they continue saying, quote, people who fail to do their job with competence and effectiveness should be fired, plain and simple, getting 3.4 thousand likes. Yeah, you would think. Scrolling down more and more. We have Simon Grunchy, and looks like it's a passage from the Bible, saying, quote, in the Bible, demons refer to themselves as they, them, we, us. And it's Mark 5:1, 5:15, Mark 16:19, Luke 11:24, 26, Luke 8:2, Matthew 8:31. Okay, 1.1 thousand likes. Sony Murashi says, quote, 5 lives lost and 38 injured because of a broken system. The red reports that say the siren protocol was unclear to begin CEMA and the fire department. That isn't just on Sarah. It's a failure of leadership and planning at multiple levels. St. Louis needs to do better, getting 479 likes, which, just like Detroit and Chicago, I'm sure they'll be a great place to live sometime soon. Haha, dark humor, political pun. Yeah, they haven't in decades, some might argue ever, and given their trends, I doubt that gets better anytime soon. So let me know, do you think this person will actually get held accountable? Do you think, they'll just get on paid leave and then assigned to a different department where they continue to make ridiculous amounts of money? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say today. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to over 5,000, maybe 5,500 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.